Hey, welcome to the Overshare Pamphlet. My name is Rob, and I'm the host of this one-man show coming to you every Monday, 6 a.m. UK time. And I'm here to talk about Spider-Man, guys. Like, I don't know if you've been living on the rock, you don't know what's going on. Like, guys, just open the news, whatever you got your updates about what's going on in the world. Just go there, Twitter, whatever you want. You'll find headlines about this movie because this is one of the biggest movies ever, actually, like ever. And I'm recording it on a Sunday, this episode, and I just got confirmation from various outlets that it did earn the second biggest opening ever for any movie ever, just behind Endgame, and just after Infinity War. So for the opening week, basically, it earned $927, I believe, million globally, and it did have also the second biggest opening ever for a domestic, like in the domestic market as well. So just behind again Endgame, but this is major. Like, Endgame earned something like 1 billion, just above 1 billion, I think. And Spider-Man Brand New Day is just behind 1 billion, basically, which is ridiculous because, for comparison, I don't know if you guys know anything about, for those of you who don't follow box office numbers and all that stuff, the Odyssey, which has also been a massive event, has just now reached $900 million globally, and that movie has been out for a few weeks already. This came out this past week. Like, this is the opening week, and it's already done all of that. So, for comparison, that's how big this movie is, and how important it is. So today, I want to talk about the movie. This is going to be, of course, spoiler territory. So if you haven't watched the movie, please go and watch the movie. How can you not? Like, just in general, even if you don't know anything about Spider-Man, anything about the movies, just go watch this because you want to be part of history. This is a massive event. It's a global sensation. So you wanna watch this. I think you would want to watch this, regardless of what you think about the movie, regardless of all that. I think we can all agree that this has been, an incredible ride, and this year is just so fun to see the cinematic experience being revived once again. It took a while. The pandemic really made it seem like it was going to be, ending very soon with streaming and all that, but it's finally back. We're finally back. And for context as well, I think this past weekend has been, this weekend basically has been the highest grossing weekend in the global box office ever. Like, combining all the movies that have earned tickets. Like, people have gone to the movies a lot this weekend, and they've overall, Hollywood, I guess we can say, has earned the most money it has ever had in a weekend, or So movies are so back. It's pure cinema. Absolute cinema. So I wanted to talk about the movie. I want to talk about what I liked, what I didn't like. I'm still struggling to rank this movie out of all the four, out of all the four Tom Holland movies, Spider-Man movies. I'm not entirely sure where I would place this. To be honest, I might do a rewatch of the others, but I do feel strongly at the moment that it's definitely behind No Way Home. But for different reasons, I guess. It's not because I didn't like the movie. I did. But this, to me, reads as a first chapter, let's just say, into a new trilogy. And so the only lackluster, I guess, I want to start with basically what I, quote-unquote, didn't like about the movie. I guess the lackluster quality of this movie, which is just by virtue of being, again, as I assume, a first chapter in a trilogy or something like that, is that it opens up a lot of things, like a lot of new avenues that are very exciting. It sets you up really well for the future, but because of that, it doesn't really accomplish much in it. I mean, the only major change, I guess, the two major changes that are like established in this is that one, Zendaya, sorry, not Zendaya, well, her character, MJ and Ned, I guess, like, they both meet Spider-Man and find out his identity again. I mean, granted, they don't, their memories of Peter Parker have been erased, so they don't know who Peter Parker is. I mean, they've met him and they've found out that he's Spider-Man again. But yeah, that's that. And that Peter went through a mutation of some sorts. And we've seen the full extent unfold. But again, even with these two major developments, there are still so many questions that have, spun from this two major events. Like, is Peter going to be able to control these powers moving forward? Are they going to be still an issue? Whatever, all that. And also, what is going to happen with, MJ and Ned moving forward? Because now they've met Peter Parker again. They've found out about, MJ has literally read that infamous letter that Peter Parker has been writing, that he meant to give it to her when the moment he felt was right, but she read it without him being ready, I guess, as well. And yeah, so again, this is like a first chapter into a new trilogy for sure, because this is like setting all these things up. We are re-entering now the whole situation about Spider-Man now being okay with having some people at least know who he is and all that. And also, most importantly, especially after all the trauma that he's had with his aunt passing and Tony Stark and all of that, and being basically forgotten by everyone, he's finally now okay with being, seen, let's just say, by other people, and being accepted by other people, and not being alone anymore. So that was a great development. I mean, there have been great developments in this movie alone, but it's more like a first stone, like a first brick, I guess, into like a major wall that is going to be built moving forward. And I mean, yeah, so that's probably the only quote-unquote critique. I mean, you cannot do it otherwise, because this is a first movie. So yeah, but again, like, I'm basically, like, very much looking forward to what's gonna happen next. Basically, that's the main outtake from this movie that I took. This was a great setup for what comes next. So yeah, I mean, don't expect like explosive changes to happen in this movie, because this again is a major setup for future movies. Clearly, I guess like another thing that I struggled at first was the first, I don't even want to call it the first act, the full first act, but like the first bit where they were, time jumping. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they went through, like, they time jumped, like they showed us all this like montage of like him fighting a crime while, Ned and Zendaya were graduating and all that stuff. So like now they're all officially, all of them are adults, right? That was great in terms of that, but it just felt like we were, I don't know, like I wanted to know more about all these villains that he's fought, and it was just like a quick carousel of all these villains, but we didn't really know much about any of them, to be honest. Even the Hand itself, like, I mean, I know it's from some of the TV shows, but yeah, it was just being brought up, and it came back again at the end of this movie. But that was it. But again, like, I think the movie, to me, in terms of pace, in terms of like emotional core, really started picking up and becoming a 10 out of 10 when, again, MJ and Ned came back into the picture and he started following. I think actually the perfect moment was when he because even in this montage, you see him like quote unquote stalking them online and seeing what they're up to. But the big switch, I think, in the movie happens very, like maybe half an hour in. Actually, maybe not even that. But when basically Peter follows Ned to his home and like basically crashes a party and just infiltrates himself into this party. That to me started being like, oh my gosh, now I'm so back. Like I'm super in. I'm strapped in. I'm 10 out of 10. Like because I think the main difference, I guess, between the Tom Holland movies and the other Spider-Man movies that we've had with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield is that I personally think these 4 movies so far have proven that the unique element is this friendship and this love, of course, it is for MJ, but also the friendship, the trio, basically, that their friendship animates is the pulse of these movies. Like their relationship, their friendship, the way they know each other and act with each other and work together and help each other out and all of that. That's the very big, unique thing about these Tom Holland movies, which make them so enjoyable and so nice to watch, because you just care about these characters so much and their friendship, and especially all they've gone through. Like, you're rooting for all 3 of them to reunite, basically, which is so nice to see also in this movie. I mean, not to the full extent, of course, because both Ned and MJ don't remember Peter Parker because they've been, their minds have been wiped basically of any memories of him. But yeah, so as soon as all these things started happening, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so back. I'm like so invested. I'm ready. And so ever since then, the movie to me like just progressed into a great direction. And they're they're also in the party where he went. Like, I mean, overall, I think this movie is just very, most of the times, very depressing, very emotional. I cried multiple times in the theater, like multiple times. My friends that were with me, like, a bit witnessed me ugly crying a couple of times, because it's tragic as well. It's very tragic because, again, like, it's such a emotional situation to be in, to have no one remember you and to feel completely alone. And the best part about it all is that because the sentiment was already established with the end of No Way Home, right? With Brand New Day now, you are following the repercussions of that and how alone Peter Parker is, but also how all of them have seemingly moved on from him because they actually don't know him anymore. And so he witnesses, MJ having a new boyfriend, hurt so much, he was so depressed, and just, him being basically in the pits. But, again, the movie has a big message as well, which is so good, and it does deal with basically loneliness and being unique and all these things, and it's laying the groundwork also not simply for the new character that's being introduced, but for just in general the X-Men overall, because that's their bread and butter. That's what their whole the whole message of the X-Men is, like, being discriminated for being very different and being very unique, let's just say, but not for any, and it's no one's fault, not even their own, because they didn't choose to be mutants, basically, right? And that's a metaphor, of course, for many groups that are shunned by society for many different reasons, for reasons out of their control. So this laid the groundwork for like what the X-Men also will be for the MCU and for everyone, I would hope. But also, again, the movie itself resolves this main issue of like loneliness and being misunderstood and not being able to be understood, basically, as well. And it works so well because 2 characters in this movie are at the beginning at odds, which are, of course, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, like, Peter Parker, but also his, at first, nemesis in this movie, which is revealed to be Jean Grey, played by Sadie Sink. Gag, I'll get to her in a few moments, but they both have technically that in common. They're first at odds because they are, she's trying to, like, get answers about something specific, but and she's causing a havoc in New York, and he's, trying to stop her. But they're actually very similar in this movie. They both are facing very similar things. They're both very much alone. They both very much have no one else to turn to, and because of that, I think they create this bond by the end of the movie that is so unique, and specifically Peter helps Jean Grey out to, like, come out of this hole, basically, in this tunnel that seems, infinite for her. So yeah, he becomes sort of like, because he's dealt with this for a long time, and he's always had, these great examples of friends that were his friends at the beginning, and then to have the proof again that their bond is still very strong. He knows and can impart knowledge on Jean Grey and be sort of like a mentor almost to her by the end of the movie. And he manages to talk her out of, exploding basically and going full rogue. It was amazing. It was incredible to see. So yeah, that I really really enjoyed the meaning of the movie, and how it basically faced. Also, something that is a topic that is very, very common these days, like the loneliness epidemic, is just like a very, very real thing that happens today because of social media and all these things. But it's a very current movie as well, and I think it does propose, like, to give you also a very good answer to it. And the answer that is given to us is actually given to us by none other than Aunt May, who, of course, she's passed, but it's a memory that Peter has of a conversation that they had together, and he shows that memory to Jean Grey and passes on her message to her as well. So technically, I mean, yes, it is Peter Parker mentoring her and, like, helping her out, but technically it's a message from Aunt May, which was so emotional. I cried so much in that scene. It was incredible. It was just amazing. But her answer basically is that, in a moment where, even when you feel the most alone and the most shunned and the most misunderstood, I think you have to latch onto your uniqueness and see it not as a ostracizing basically force, like something that makes you ostracized, like makes you just be shunned from society, but something that makes you, and people who love you will naturally love you for who you are and not because you're special. You know what I mean? To never forget that this special part of you is not something that puts you aside or makes you alone, but is that something that doesn't define you, basically. Like, everyone is different, everyone is special, and that will not define you for who you are. People will like you for you rather than your special traits or whatever it is that you have. So now you will have someone who will understand you. There will be someone who will like you for who you are rather than for your, again, like your uniqueness, I guess, in that sense. Your unique traits, let's just say. Yeah. So incredible. Just 10 out of 10. Loved it. And by proxy as well, I guess, like, I really got super invested in the Jean Grey character, in the Sadie Sink character. Jean Grey, I mean, is if you're a fan of the X-Men, like I was when I was a child, because I grew up watching the Fox X-Men movies, Jean Grey is one of the most popular characters in the X-Men, and actually also even one of the most powerful mutants in the comics and everything else. And so to have her be the first official X-Men member being revealed to us for the MCU is just, first of all, such a treat, and I think also such an interesting take on Jean Grey. And to have, I think it's the first time we have in the cinematic universe a Jean Grey that is younger and is just, we meet her not trained, basically, not, we meet her completely alone at first, like we meet her from point one, basically. So yeah, I'm very pumped. This was such an interesting story. We learn her backstory. We learned that she suddenly started having these powers out of nowhere, like these mutations happened to her and her sister. Her sister was caught by Department of Damage Control, which I assume we will be seeing again very, very soon with the X-Men. They seem to be the opposing organization that wants to protect humans and basically eliminate mutant threats because of their unpredictability, I guess. But yeah, so we learned that her sister, who also had similar powers to her, was kidnapped and used for experiments and ultimately died. And that's, she's been trying her whole, in her whole story in this movie, she was trying to find out what happened to her sister. And she does find in the end that she was killed, and she is on the verge of like destroying everything, but she is ultimately saved by Peter Parker, and it was very good. Such a good scene. Yeah, so the Jean Grey here. I mean, I've seen many conversations about it. Some people really love Sadie Sink in it. Some people really don't see the Jean Grey in her. And I actually have to be honest. I think it's such a fresh take on the character. People are saying like it's dupe for Wanda and all these things, and I mean there are definitely a lot of nods to Wanda, like to the Scarlet Witch. But don't forget that Wanda got a lot of her storylines taken from Jean Grey from the comics, so that's just natural. I think it's just an odd, but also at the same time, I think this just still reads as fresh because you're not following, an adult Wanda. Like you're following a young mutant coming into the MCU, the X-Men, and we'll know that she's gonna have very different dynamics in moving forward, like with the X-Men and everything else. So it's gonna be different. Is it a similar character? Yes, but they're also similar in the comics. Anyways, there's a lot of overlap of powers between many people in the comics as well. But I think because we already had 2 iterations of Jean Grey in the past with the Fox movies, I think this is a good and interesting change, an interesting take on the character, and we're just seeing her getting started. Like literally, her powers are just now starting to properly manifest. She upgrades already in this movie a little bit with telekinesis and everything else. So it's very fun. I think it's very fun. I think it's very fresh, and I do think Sadie Sink just is a great actress. I loved her performance in this movie. She was really, really good. She was playing sort of like angsty lone teenager basically, which worked. She wasn't like an annoying, sometimes like these presentations are a bit annoying sometimes, like these angsty teens are shown to be a bit annoying. She wasn't annoying, she was deeply hurt. that's the thing, that's the main thing that motivates her as well. So it was very fun to see. I really cared immediately about her character and her performance. So, and again, as I said, makes me very excited to what's going to happen next. We see her leaving New York, or like at least the city, and I think we all know where she's going to go. She's going to go to meet Charles Xavier, maybe, I assume. But yes, I'm very excited to see what's going to happen next, like in terms of the X-Men. I'm sure there's the D23 happening in August, like in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm sure there's something happening there. I think they didn't announce the X-Men at Comic-Con because they were waiting for this movie to come out to have the proper Jean Grey introduction and to have finally this mystery character be revealed. So now that the X-Men are on board officially, I think they will be announcing the cast at D23 very soon, or like at least very soon, and we'll know also release date, I assume, of when the movie will come out. So very exciting stuff, very exciting. So yeah, that was great. I mean, yeah. Also, other nuggets, very very good nuggets in the movie. Jean Grey, because she's a mind controller in this movie, at least at the beginning. She hops basically between people. She gets to sort of impersonate a lot of people in this movie. I mean, actually, most of them are just random people, but a couple of them are actual villains. So she impersonates Scorpion. The fight sequences. Oh yeah, I need to also have a conversation about Destin Daniel Cretton about how he directed the movie GOAT. But anyways, she gets into Scorpion, so we see a bit of like a Spider-Man villain. She also possesses the Hulk for a bit and makes him go absolutely nuts. Incredible. She possesses also the Punisher, who is sort of Spider-Man's right hand in this movie. Like, he's just very much a good assist, both comically but also, actual action-wise. Very cool. She possesses MJ. That scene where she pretends to be MJ and kisses Tom Holland kisses Peter Parker and pretends like she remembers everything, and then Tom Holland figures it out and he's like, wow, that was such a good scene, and kudos to Zendaya for acting the shit out of that scene. It was so good. So yeah, and then of course ultimately also she possesses the hand, acts basically as her bodyguard at the end, the bodyguard force, I guess. And incredible action sequences overall coming out of this movie, like just ridiculously good. I mean, if you've watched Shang-Chi, you would know that this is like that's Daniel Cretton's best asset. Like his direction in terms of action sequences is just impeccable. Like whoever choreographed, I think it's the Jackie Chan team who also choreographed some of the scenes here. Stunning. The fight between Scorpion and Peter Parker, incredible. The fight between Peter Parker and the Hulk, insane. Probably the best fight scene, but also, well, actually, maybe the best fight scene might be with the hand at the end. Like that was also so good. Just incredible action sequence. I cannot describe it enough. Like this is a major upgrade from the previous 3 movies with the previous director. That this is going into an incredible direction. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next as well, because I hope he gets to direct all the other movies as well. Just impeccable. And yeah, like even, and on top of that, he also directed the web-slinging scenes so well. We had a lot of like first person point of view throughout the movie while he was slinging around, so it felt like you were in the mask as well with him. Just beautiful, gorgeous. It was some of the best slinging scenes we've seen ever in live action. So guys, I cannot give you any more any more reasons to go and watch this movie. And we get a sort of confirmation by the end of the movie that Spider-Man will return in the Avengers. We're not sure if it's Doomsday or not. It seems to me that it's going to be Infinity War, like properly. So we'll see. But yeah, exciting stuff. I think there's so many good things happening in this movie that like it's a great starting point for more things to come, basically. So I urge you to go and see it. Also, not simply because of the quality of the movie, but also because again, it's a global phenomenon. So you have to go and watch it. Please do. Anyways, these are my thoughts. You can let me know in the comments what you think of it, what you liked, what you didn't like, if you liked think being Jean Grey, if you are excited about the X-Men coming up. There are so many good rumors floating around about who could play who. Just let me know, and I'll leave you to like the sponsor for the episode, but then I'll come back for songs of the week. So buckle up. Right, before we carry on with the songs of the week, I have another sponsor, a new sponsor for the podcast, and it's Cozy Earth. I genuinely think that getting into a properly comfortable bed is one of life's greatest luxuries, and Cozy Earth is all about bringing that feeling into your home specifically. Their best-selling bamboo sheet set is made from premium viscose derived from bamboo, giving the sheets an incredibly soft, breathable feel. They're also moisture wicking, so they're particularly great for hot sleepers who want to stay cool and dry throughout the night. The sheets are oversized in fit in that sense, and they become even softer with every wash, and I've earned thousands of 5-star reviews on different websites, with customers regularly describing them as buttery soft. Cozy Earth also makes elegant bamboo pajamas, and they are basically perfect for lounging, sleeping, or generally pretending like your evening routine is much more sophisticated than it actually is. There's a reason Cozy Earth has appeared on Oprah's Favorite Things list for 7 consecutive years and has been praised by everyone from Kris Jenner to Good Morning America, InStyle, and Better Homes and Gardens. My listeners can get an exclusive 21% off any Cozy Earth product with my promo code pamphlet. For this specific product, it's different. It's not the overshare pamphlet, or it's not overshare pamphlet, it's just pamphlet. So at checkout, you can put that in the checkout section, and you will be getting 21% off, and that's the highest discount that they offer everywhere. So head to cozyearth.com and use the code pamphlet at checkout. The orders that are over $50 as well also receive free shipping, and the bamboo bedding comes with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. That's cozyearth.com for you, and again, promo code pamphlet for an exclusive 20% off. I earn a commission when you use my code, so your purchase also helps support me and the podcast. Thank you for listening. We are so back with Songs of the Week, and this is the new playlist that we're starting for the month of August. As usual, you can find the previous playlist for every month of the year with the respective songs of the week being in there on Spotify. But just search basically the Overshare Pamphlet, songs of the week, and month and year that you would like to go and check out. But these 4 songs that I'm going to talk about, these 4 are the first few songs of August that that have been currently on repeat for me. And they're all actually new releases, which is really exciting. And they're all girls. The girls are out. First off, I want to talk about Petal by Ariana Grande. I mean, the album, I've listened to it. I have mixed feelings about it. Some of the first songs are pretty good. But overall, the album fell a bit flat for me, I think, at the moment. But the title track, Petal, really cool. It's like a very R&B inspired in terms of like rhythm, but it has a lot of like, electric guitars and like aggressive synths in it. Very cool. So nice. The song itself is just, well, she did say the album itself is about also this like sort of rage that she wanted to put out. She's never written an album from that perspective, and I do think I get what she says. Like, it's technically also mostly about relationships as well, but she has this like rage that is boiling up in her, and the basically in Petal, this song, she says like the her only outlet to get her emotions and to music is the one outlet that she has, and she's now ready to face heartbreak even in those circumstances because she knows she can always let it out. This music and I Will Never Die, she said, like, it's a fucked situation. Pedal in the pavement, just as long as she keeps getting it right, heartbreak won't bite. Here in Paradise, such a convenient conflation. This record in rotation, as long as you get the ovation each night, heartbreak won't bite. So it's like a reclaiming of all that, basically, which is very interesting in that sense, especially from her, who has been under a lot of scrutiny, especially very recently, about her body and everything else. It's just like I don't want to open up topic because it's a very massive topic that I don't think I'm comfortable talking about, to be honest with you. It's a very private matter also of hers, but yes, I guess sort of what inspired also this rage is also, I think, the chatter that's surrounding her body image and all that. So, but again, the song itself is so cool. There's a tempo switch, I think, like in between the song, which is very fun. I think it's like in the chorus, basically, like after the chorus or like in the chorus. Very cool and great melody, great catchy song. Loved it. That's what my favorite probably track of the album. So yeah, gag. Then this to me is most pleasing because I love Rachel Chinuriri, but this was just like an interesting, unexpected turn for her. She just released her first single off of her upcoming album, and this song is called One Song Away from Crying, and this is a very interesting sound for her. It's like a bit disco-y, but not really like disco like that you've heard before. Like, it's like a very interesting sound. Like I think there's a bit of like a retro aspect to it. It's like very cool. Love the production. Production is so lush. I definitely want you guys to listen to this. This is like such an interesting song, and I love it. I'm very excited. I'm very pumped for the album. I think Rachel Chinuriri is just like an incredible artist, and she's gonna have a new album with a new sound now, which is so fun to see because she's such a great lyrical artist as well. But this, like, the album itself is called I Think I Spoke Too Soon. Seems to be heading in this direction, especially I'm loving the artwork as well. Very cool. And I'm excited. I'm excited. This is like just, very interesting artistically. Like it's a very artistic song, at least at the moment. Um, Great. Then, then we have Miss Adela with Ain't in LA, which is I think her third outtake from her upcoming album Prima. And this song is, whether you like it or not, is a reheat and nachos of We Can't Stop in terms of sound, at least. But there's nothing wrong with that because this is like so delicious, so deliciously produced, so good. Dare I say even like more upbeat in certain ways compared to like We Can't Stop, but it's very similar with like the vocaloid distortion of like in the chorus as well, and in the beginning it's just very it's go ahead and listen to it. It's uncanny, like it's very similar to We Can't Stop by Miley Cyrus, but the message of the song is well, We Can't Stop also is quite, a free, youthful anthem. And this is sort of also is like that, but the main message here is that the baddest bitches ending in LA, basically. That's a chorus, right? Like don't let, social media or all these models or whatever let you think that because you're not from a known city or like a very known hot spot, you're not a valuable person, you're not unique and beautiful the way you are. So, very good. People are saying like this is giving like a bit of Pure Heroin by Lord as well a little bit, and I can see definitely why. Like we live in cities that you never see on screen. That's literally the sentiment of this song. It's so cool, so catchy, loving it. And the video, chef's kiss. She filmed it in her hometown in Eastern Europe, so definitely give it a go. So cool. And then to finish off, Less Than a Lover by Jenny. This is the first single, I would assume, from her upcoming album. She hasn't really announced that album, I think, but this song is so good. Such an interesting, vibey summer track. Again, production amazing. The video also amazing. So good. I think she already had teased the song in like Governor's Ball and Roskilde and all these other places, and she's performed at Lollapalooza very recently. Yeah, so very interesting direction for Jenny. I'm so excited to see what's going to happen with the album. I've seen other outtakes from other songs coming out, like other spoilers, I guess. Like she performed it at different festivals, new songs that have not been released yet. They all sound amazing, and I'm very happy with this. Yeah, so it's a very summery song. Definitely go listen to it if you like a little bit of bittersweet song. Very cool. It's about situationship, by the way. So many of y'all can relate, I know for a fact. Anyways, this is it for the episode. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye.